One of my most favorite things that I have come to learn by doing intuitive healing work is when I have encountered either someone or someone related to them that inhibits forgive the vehicle. It's very early in the morning. I assume that someone's school pickup is waiting for them. And because it is Monday, the kid probably struggled to wake up. Anyway, but it's when one body inhibits two consciousnesses in one lifetime. And it's like, what? This is why I think to a large extent, stories about shape shifting and all of that it's not really news to me, because when I was going through my own unique training, every healer's training is different, and it's not so much training as it is remembering. And the more you remember, I think the more you remember. But one thing I've really come to enjoy is that I have been brought into the confidence of the original consciousness, the people I refer to as Vanhu Vokutanga. And every time I come across something, I always just have to ask, and I will get that knowledge. Well, with a lot of stillness, obviously. But yes, back to a person. So I'm this one body now, but then I inhibit two consciousnesses in this one lifetime, but not at the same time. So oftentimes someone will come into, so why does that happen? Someone will come to pretty much clear out previous lifetimes. Like, I am not getting attached, I am not doing anything, I am just clearing. And it's one of two things. Either the more elevated person, the more elevated consciousness that would then come to the fore in another lifetime, in a separate body, whatever, that consciousness takes over. Usually the signs of this is just the person being completely and utterly different. Someone was a smoker and now they no longer smoke. Obviously, it's not that basic. It's much deeper. It's a lot more spiritual. The person will often feel quite alienated from the environment, from the people around them, a sense of, you are familiar, but I myself do not have intimate knowledge of you. That which I know of you is because I was peering through the lens of someone else's experience. But yeah, that is something that is entirely and completely common. I don't know if it's something that was common perhaps 100 years ago, but in my conversations with Vanhu Vokutanga, it would appear that it's very much symptomatic or characteristic of the Aquarian age that we are moving into, or in, whichever way you wish to look at it, because really we have been ushering into the Aquarian age since 2012. So it's very fascinating, and I think this is, for me, the most amazing thing about what I am and what I do, is that I get to be exposed to so much ancient knowledge, ancient truths, and ancient wisdoms, and it's just so humbling. And I've been wanting to share a lot of it, and I just thought a lot of things. Being an intuitive healer is the most beautiful thing, but also the most frustrating, because everything comes down to your intuition. So the moment you find yourself in a situation where you're questioning your intuition, second guessing yourself, and because life is such, there's a lot that happens that sometimes can throw you off kilter, of that intuition kilter. And so it can be challenging until you've gained dominion over your mind, yourself. And not dominion because you're weak, but because oftentimes, to fully be embedded in your intuition, there is a lot of letting go. And often that final step is the letting go you don't want to do, not because of how much you enjoy those relationships or anything like that, but because they're the ones that shaped you the most. It's like an unhealthy relationship with a parent that you need to break away from, but you cannot do it, even though it's what will be good for you. So it's a struggle in that sense. But yeah, I thought I would share that with you guys. And I don't know if I've given enough information, but in a sense, there are some souls, now some spirits. And I think it's happening a lot as well with teachers. I don't mean traditional teachers in the classroom, but teachers, and where, I mean, it sounds a bit like action movie, like do 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 do, like. But yeah, in many senses, I think many teachers that are coming to be a part of our progression, I don't think they felt safe to come through in that way. I think a lot of them felt it was safer to either link them up with someone whose life ends at a certain point and they can step in, or themselves have a lifetime to wrap up everything to go into that role, but without wanting to do it over 2 lifetimes. Because one thing I can tell you is that a lot of teachers are exhausted, and so yeah. It can happen for many reasons, but what I have discovered thus far is that it's either someone who does 2 of their lifetimes in 1 lifetime, and for me, I would go so far as to say that this is a new characteristic of the Aquarian Age. I don't think this is something that is happening 100 years ago. I think perhaps some people had alchemy abilities or were exposed to the sort of alchemy that can force that to happen. And then on the other hand, you just have a lot of teachers who, in the spirit of hiding in plain sight, and I think as well because of how frustrating it is, those early stages, just chose to not go through the infancy, the all of that, a family that they are attached to, children that they have, and all of that, because they've just come here to do the work. So hope you like that little tidbit, and I will be sharing a heck of a lot more. Mwah. Today is a good day.